Good afternoon, sports fans. My name is Matthew Gorby, host of Matt Gorby Sports Analysis. We got a lot to talk about. It's been kind of a crazy week. I apologize for the delay in the show. I was planning on doing a podcast the day after Game 5. Some stuff happened. It's been a crazy week, but we're here now, and I can't wait to talk some sports. Obviously, I want to talk Game 5 first. Because we were going through each and every game of the NBA Finals, watched each and every single one. I caught the first half of the game and then caught the very end, so I didn't catch the whole thing. When the Knicks were coming back, I really didn't see that until the last 30 seconds of the game. But man, what a win for the Knicks. Another come-from-behind win for this team. It was Jalen Brunson who was the guy that sparked it. He scored 45 points in Game 5, 14 of 27 from the field. I wish this ad would stop playing. 13 from 15 from the line. Just an incredible performance for number 11. He is the king of New York right now, and there's really no other way to say it. OG Anunoby, 11 points. Didn't have his best game, 3 of 11 from the field. Karl-Anthony Towns, only 2 points, 1 of 7 from the field. Josh Hart, 13 points, 4-11 from the field. Also grabbed 11 rebounds. By the way, Cat had 10 rebounds. Mikal Bridges, 14 points. He shot 50%, and he had 2 rebounds and 4 assists tacked onto that off the bench. Not much scoring. Landry Shamet had 5 points. Clarkson had 2. Mitchell Robinson had 2. But man, just what an incredible win. Also 10 rebounds for Robinson. Can't forget about that. What an incredible performance by this Knicks team in the second half once again, especially in the fourth quarter. The Spurs, on the other hand, played well. Didn't really shoot the ball all that well, though. Only shot 38% as a team. Well, I guess the Knicks shot 36%. So actually, I guess they shot better than the Knicks technically. But Champagnie had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Wembanyama, 19 points, 14 rebounds. De'Aaron Fox, 7 points. Man, he went 3-15 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3. He struggled again. Devin Vassell, 12 points. He went 5 of 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Castle, 6 points. And 1 of 10 from the field. Keldon Johnson, 7 points off the bench. Dylan Harper off the bench again, just playing so well. Can't wait for him to be a starter, maybe next year. 25 points for him, 10 of 19 from the field. What an absolutely incredible win, though, for the Knicks. The city of New York deserved it, even though, some of their fans are a little crazy. We've seen definitely in this series. But, I'm happy for the true New York fans out there. They've been waiting for this for a long time. I'm happy for all those celebrities, Timothy Chalamet, Spike Lee, Tracy Morgan, Ben Stiller, all those guys. Congrats to them. There's nothing better than when your team wins a championship. But the NBA wasn't the only champion that was crowned in the NHL, which we haven't talked about yet because I'm not a hockey guy, but I guess we talked about Miracle in the last episode. But the Carolina Hurricanes, shout out Carolina, definitely was rooting for them. They took down the Las Vegas Golden Knights, who still kind of new to the league, but they have been so good ever since they became an expansion team in the NHL. The whole series, Game 1, it was a great game. The Golden Knights took down the Hurricanes 5-4. The second game, it was another great game. The Hurricanes took down the Golden Knights 4-3. Game 3, the Golden Knights, in another great game, won 5-4 over the Hurricanes. So Vegas actually took the lead 2-1 in the series. Game 4, the Hurricanes beat the Golden Knights 5-3. Game 5, Carolina took as well 4-2. And then in Game 6, the Hurricanes, to win 3 straight games to close out the series, go ahead and beat the Golden Knights 3-0, and a great game for them. I wish I could, do some analysis on this series. I'm just not a big hockey guy. I apologize. I could probably only name about 10 guys in the NHL. I want to look up who the finals, if they have like an MVP, I'm assuming. It was Jordan Stahl, or I hope I said that name. Jordan Stahl, I think that's how you say it. He was the 2026 Stanley Cup Final MVP, the Conn Smythe Trophy, or Conn Smythe. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, to all my hockey fans. But what a win for the Hurricanes. Big win for Carolina. Shout out Carolina. Shout out Coastal Carolina. But yeah, big win for them. Moving on to the World Cup. We're kind of going quick here, I know. Moving on to the World Cup right now, which is something I haven't really been watching this year. I watched when it was, 4 years ago. I watched a good bit of it. I know the USA's got a really good team so far. Looks like Mexico in Group A is leading with 2 wins, 0 losses. South Korea right now 1-1. The Czechs 0-1. South Africa 0-1. It looks like in Group B. Now hold on a minute. What does D mean? Because this is something I don't know. What does D mean in soccer standings? Does that mean like this? Oh, draw. Oh, obviously. Why the fuck wouldn't I know that? I'm sorry. That's kind of embarrassing. Why would I not know that? So, looks like South Africa actually has 1 draw, and so does the Czechs. They're 1-1. So is South Africa. It looks like in Group B, Canada leads the way. They have 1 win, 1 draw. Switzerland, same. They have 1 win, 1 draw, but they're second. Bosnia, they have 0 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Qatar, 0 wins, 1 draw, not decision. 1 draw, 1 loss. Group C, Scotland. I'm from Scotland. 1-0, I believe. Is that what it says? Yes. 1 win, 0 losses, 0 draws. Morocco, 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Brazil, 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Haiti, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. Group D, the United States of America leading the way in Group D with 1 win and 1 draw, 0 losses. Australia, same. 1 win, 1 draw. It looks like Turkey's in third with 0 wins and 1 loss. Paraguay in fourth with 0 wins and 1 loss. Group E, Germany, 1 win, 0 losses. Ivory Coast, 1 win, 0 losses. Ecuador, 0 wins, 1 loss. Whoa, I've never heard of this place. I don't think I've ever heard of this place. And I don't even know how to say it, so I'm not going to say it. I seriously have never heard of this country. Is this a country? I don't think I've ever heard. Maybe my ball knowledge when it comes to, countries isn't good. I thought it was decent. I've never heard of this place. But Group E, 4th place, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 place. Group F, Sweden, 1 win, 0 draws, 0 losses. Japan in second with 0 wins, 0 losses, but they do have a draw. So do the Netherlands in third. Tanzania, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. Oh, sweet. Group G, New Zealand in first place with 0 wins, 1 draw, and 0 loss. Iran in second place in Group G. Big bad Iran. 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Belgium in third, 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Egypt in fourth in Group G, 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Group H, Uruguay, who, if I believe, won the very first ever World Cup. Is that ball knowledge? Do I have ball knowledge? Was it Uruguay? If it wasn't Uruguay, it was Paraguay. Or maybe it was the first Olympics. Now, let me look. Who won the first ever World Cup? Is this ball knowledge? It was Uruguay in 1930. Shout out trivia. That's the only way I know this. And actually, the U.S. is playing Australia right now, it looks like. Shout out the United States. Shout out Australia. Where were we? We're in Group H, number 2. By the way, Uruguay, I don't know if I said. 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Number 2, Saudi Arabia. 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Spain in third, 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. And in fourth, Cabo Verde, 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. Group I. Wow, we still got 4 groups left. Group I, we got Norway, number 1 with 1 win, 0 draws and losses. Number 2 is France, same thing, 1 win, 0 draws, 0 losses. Senegal, number 3, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. Number 4, Iraq. They have 0 wins, 0 draws, and 1 loss. Group J, Argentina, 1 win, 0 draws, 0 loss. Number 2 is Austria. They have 1 win, 0 draws, 0 losses. Jordan in third, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. Algeria, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. Group K, Colombia, number 1, 1 loss, 0 draws. Democratic Republic Congo in second in Group K, 0 wins, 1 draws, 0 losses. Number 3 is Portugal. They have 0 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. And number 4 is Uzbekistan, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. Group L, England, 1 win, 0 draws, 0 losses. Number 2, Ghana, 1 win, 0 draws, 0 losses. Number 3, Panama, 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. Croatia finally rounding out everything. 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss. So that is an update on the standings right now for the World Cup. It looks like Mexico right now is doing the best. They are 2-0 so far. I don't think anybody's 2-0. But a few teams probably have a chance to be after today. Can't wait for the rest of the World Cup. I'm going to definitely have to tune in a little bit. Looks like Lionel Messi has 3 goals right now. He is just unbelievable. He's tied with Jonathan David, who plays for Canada. He also has 3 goals. Also, something I want to point out, corrections box. I was listening to the podcast podcast number 3. I just now remember this. I was talking about the 2021 Mets, and I realized instead of Jose Peraza, I said Jose Parado. Don't know why I said Parado. I was thinking of the guy that plays for the is it the Diamondbacks? I think the Diamondbacks, or at least he did play for the Diamondbacks. I was thinking of him. Jose Peraza was who played for the Mets. Shout out to Jose Peraza. Sorry, I got your name wrong, brother. But anyway, that's that. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, yes, I definitely want to talk about this. Today is the 10-year anniversary of NBA Finals Game 7 in 2016 between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Golden State Warriors, a game where the Cavaliers won 93-89 against Golden State in one of the best games that we've really ever seen in NBA history. A series that really wasn't that great. If you remember, I just want to look back and read the scores from the 2016 NBA Finals. And I just want to mention how really bad these finals were other than Game 7. Game 1, the Warriors took down the Cavs 104-89. Game 2, which was a close game for the most part, if I remember. I think the Warriors they went on a huge run in the second half. The game was closer than a lot of people think. Game 2, however, was an absolute blowout where the Warriors won by 33 points. They won 110-77. Game 3 was a win for the Cavs, an absolute blowout, 120-90. Game 4 actually might have been like the best game of the series, where the Warriors took down the Cavs to go up 3-1, 108-97. Game 5, the Cavs went into Golden State, facing elimination. They took care of business. That was also a great game, really, until the end. Cavs ended up winning 112-97, so they won by 15. Game 6 was also a pretty tightly contested game for the most part throughout. I know that game was, I know it was a blowout at first, but then the Warriors started coming back. The game was close in the fourth quarter at one point, but the Cavs just ran away with it at the end. They won Game 6. And Game 7, the 10-year anniversary of, I want to go through the box score really quick of this game. Maybe my favorite sporting event in sports history. Just an unbelievable finish. I remember I was 10 years old watching the game at my uncle's house for Father's Day. Ended up leaving at halftime. A lot of the third quarter and some of the fourth quarter I missed because it was a far drive. I got home with about 4 minutes left. And that was, I saw the ending. I got to see the ending, which was so amazing. I loved one of the best endings in sports history. And let's go through the box score. We'll start with the Warriors first. The star of the show that night was Draymond Green. He scored 32 points. He played the most minutes, by the way, 47 minutes. 32 points. He went 11 of 15 from the field. He went 6 of 8 from 3 4-4 from the line. He also had 15 rebounds, 9 assists. He was an assist shy of a triple-double. Draymond Green, one of his best games of his career was in that Game 7. Just completely unbelievable. Unbelievable. Harrison Barnes, he had 10 points, 3 of 10 from the field. Festus Ezeli, who I believe was he an all-star the year after this? I remember when all-star voting happened, he was had a lot of votes. I'm not sure if he was an all-star or not, but he had 0 points that game, 0-4 from the field, only had 1 rebound and 1 assist as well. Didn't have a block steal or anything. Kind of a shitty game from Ezeli. Steph Curry only had 17 points. He went 6 of 19 from the field. Definitely struggled this game. 4 of 14 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Klay Thompson, 14 points, 6 of 17 from the field, 2 of 10 from 3. I thought Thompson did way better this game. I guess I'm tripping. Andre Iguodala off the bench had 4 points. Anderson Varejao, shout out Varejao, 1 point in this game, went 1 of 2 from the line. Barbosa had 3 points, 1 of 2 from the field, and Sean Livingston only had 8 points. That was the thing. The bench really didn't do much for the Warriors in this game, and that was really what they ran on a lot. Those 2015-16 years, their bench was the best in the NBA. Well, they still were the best in the NBA, even when KD joined. But their bench, that's what made Golden State so good that people don't realize. Yes, they had Curry, Thompson, and Green, but those other guys, Harrison Barnes, who I guess was a starter, but him and Iguodala and Livingston and Spades, those were the guys that truly won the games for the Warriors off the bench. Their bench was the best in the NBA. So shout out Golden State. They had an incredible team that year. Obviously beat us the other 3 years we played them. So I got a lot of respect for them, a lot of respect for Curry and those guys. But the box score for the Cavaliers, LeBron James literally played pretty much every second of this game. He played 47 minutes. So did Draymond Green, by the way. James had 27 points. He was 9 of 24 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 8 of 10 from the line. He also had 11 rebounds, 11 assists, so make that a triple-double for LeBron. Kevin Love had 9 points, 3 of 9 from the field. He had 14 rebounds, though, which was just absolutely huge for us. Tristan Thompson, 9 points, 3 of 3 from the field. He had 3 rebounds. J.R. Smith, who, by the way, J.R. Smith, the unsung hero of Game 7. Remember the Cavs? They were down by 7 at halftime, and immediately after halftime was over, J.R. Smith hit 3 huge shots to get the Cavs back in the game. I know it was only a 7-point game, but still a 7-point lead, a 7-point deficit against Golden State back then on the road. It felt like 17 points sometimes. So that was huge. J.R. Smith, if it wasn't for him, might have not even won that game. Kyrie Irving, what a game he had as well, especially in the second half. He had 26 points, 10 of 23 from the field, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Off the bench, Richard Jefferson had 2 points, 9 rebounds. Now, wait a second. I thought Richard Jefferson had a double-double in this game. I thought he had 10 points, 10 rebounds. I thought maybe that was a different game. Or is this wrong? I swear Richard Jefferson had a double-double off the bench in this game. Maybe he didn't. I guess he didn't. Mo Williams had 2 points, though, and Mon Shumpert had 60. Mon Shumpert had that huge 4-point play in the first quarter, which was huge. But, Game 7 of 2016, best sporting event, in my opinion, in history. Maybe not in history. Maybe not. No, I'm not going to say best sporting event. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say best NBA game in history. There's definitely a few up there. But I think this one's right near the top. What an unbelievable game. Just, went down to 7. These were clearly the 2 best teams, the 2 best players in the world. Steph Curry and LeBron James going at it. And with their Robins as well, Kyrie and Klay Thompson. This was just an unbelievable game. Unbelievable series. Well, actually, it wasn't, though. In fact, I actually said this the other night. I think the 2015 NBA Finals that went to 6 was actually better than the 2016 NBA Finals. Remember, 2015, let's look at the scores each game. Each game in that series, I'm pretty sure, was close. I'm pretty sure each and every game in that series was close, down to the wire, pretty much. Let's see. Yeah. Game 1, the Warriors won 108-100, but that game went to overtime. I remember that game being great. I remember game 2 being just as good, even better. That game went to overtime as well. They won 95-93. The Cavs did. Series tied at 1. Going back to Cleveland, the Cavs won game 3, 96-91. That was a great game. Game 4 was a blowout, but I feel like that game was close for the most part. Maybe it really wasn't. 103-82. They won by 19. I don't remember that. I remember game 4 happening. I remember us losing. No, I'm thinking of 2016. I don't remember Game 4, 2015, really. I do remember Game 3, 2015. I definitely remember the first 2 games. Game 5 was another great game. It was 104-91. The Warriors won, but that game was pretty close for the most part throughout down the stretch. Game 6, the Warriors won in Cleveland, 105-97. Remember this series, though, Kyrie Irving got hurt, I think, in Game 2. Kevin Love was already out. He got hurt in the first round. Against Boston, and LeBron was, his second option was I had to be J.R. Smith. If it wasn't him, it was Dellavedova. And, for those guys to be, and nothing against those guys. Dellavedova did his thing guarding Steph Curry that series. He was just a baller. J.R. Smith, I think, is one of the most overhated players ever. If it wasn't for J.R. Smith, like I just said, in 2016, J.R. Smith, he played great defense. He was an exceptional three-point scorer, exceptional mid-range scorer. He was tough, and he was a huge part of that 2016 finals run. He was also a huge part of the 2015 run, getting there to the finals. I remember in Game 2 of that series, he just went off. Let's see. I think it was Game 2. Was it Game 1 or Game 2? I think it was Game 2. No, it was not Game 2. It was Game 1. Let's see the box score for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Atlanta Hawks. LeBron did his thing, 31, 8, and 6. Timothy Mozgov had a double-double. He had 10 and 11. Looks like J.R. Smith had 28 points, 10 of 16 from the field, 8 of 12 from 3. What an unbelievable night from him. J.R. Smith, just so good, so good. I love J.R. Smith, one of my favorite role players ever. But he was a starter for us during those runs, so he wasn't really a role player. But anyway, what do we have next? What is up next? Yes, Brendan Sorsby. We talked about him in the last episode, how he was granted the play. But he is actually splitting. Him and Texas Tech mutually agreed to part ways. He will not play for Texas Tech this season. There was a lot of pressure on the Big 12 and Texas Tech in general. Texas Tech became the most hated team in college football when that news came out that Sorsby was going to be able to play. I don't think you should ruin the reputation of your program for a quarterback. Of course, Sorsby's good, but I don't think he's that good. If 2019 Joe Burrow was coming in, yeah, I'd completely ruin my program for him. But, he's not. So I think Texas Tech definitely made the best decision. And the thing that's next for Sorsby is the supplemental draft. So he's able to hold a pro day workout for NFL teams in July. I don't really know how the supplemental draft works and what that process is. But for Texas Tech, the university's not going to seek the return of any NIL payments already made to Sorsby, and the program is going to avoid further legal warfare with its own conference, which is probably for the best. You don't want to get kicked out of your own conference somehow or whatever. You don't want to be fined by your conference. So I think the best thing, I think the right thing was made. I do think Sorsby should never see the field again in the NCAA. I'm not hating on the guy, but that's the rules, and I'm glad that happened, that him and Texas Tech did part ways. But hey, if he gets his gambling addiction, figured out, I'm going to be rooting for him because, that's how I am. I root for people. I root for athletes to do well because at the end of the day, it was an addiction, and when you start doing something like that, it's very easy to get addicted. I hope he gets it figured out, and if he goes to the NFL, I hope he kills it. As long as he doesn't, keep gambling. But anyway, that's the Brendan Sorsby update right now. Moving on to the MLB, though. Actually, before the MLB, I want to talk a little bit about the UFC fights. I was so happy that Justin Gaethje won, and I'm not a huge UFC guy. I had a UFC phase in 2020 during the COVID, when they had like the that island they were fighting on. I was watching a bunch of old fights on YouTube. I loved Conor McGregor, but I haven't watched the UFC. I haven't really been into it the last few years. In fact, the guy that Gaethje fought, Ilya Topuria, or however you say his name, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I didn't even really know who he was, which is kind of crazy because he was undefeated. He was like one of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. But Justin Gaethje went in there, who I do know and I do like a lot, went in there and beat him in round 4. Had a TKO against Ilya. He had a nasty 1-2 punch. He did like a left jab, and he just hit him with a right hook. It was just absolutely disgusting. They ended up stopping the fight after it. But yeah, huge win. Gain beat Pereira in the co-main event in round 2. And then Sean O'Malley, a.k.a. Sugar Sean, who I also do know, beat a guy that I really don't know how to say his name. I'm gonna say Zahabi, something like that. Beat him in round 2. Some other big... Oh, Josh Hockett. I don't know how to say his name. That guy beat Derek Lewis. And as soon as he won... He yelled in the mic to the audience and to everybody that was watching on TV that Michelle Obama is a man. I don't care what you think about Michelle Obama. That's completely unprofessional. The guy just fought in his biggest fight in his life and won the biggest fight of his life. And he says that afterwards. Loss of aura, in my opinion. But hey, people have their opinions. So anyway... Michael Chandler did lose, I do know that name, to Mauricio Ruffi. That's a fucking awesome name. In round 1, TKO, shout out him. Or maybe it was a KO, I'm not sure. Bo Nickel beat Kyle Dawkins. I think that's how you say his name. Once again, if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm very sorry. I'm not a UFC guy. So, yeah, I'd love to talk to somebody about the UFC, though. Bo Nickel won that in round 1. A lot of these fights ended in the first 2 rounds. And Diego Lopes, I'm not sure how to say that. I want to say it's Lopes because there's no Z on the end, but I honestly don't know. Beat Steve Garcia in round 2. Diego goes to 28-8 on his professional career. Shout out him. That was UFC Freedom 250. I definitely think it was an awesome event. Whatever you think about this administration, I don't want to talk politics. I'm sure a lot of you guys know my opinions about this administration. But I still think it was a cool event to have a UFC fight right on the White House. I think it was the atmosphere looked incredible. There was a lot of people there. It looked really fun. By the way, I know this happens at a lot of, huge events like this. It probably happens at the Super Bowl every year, but apparently there was an attempt to massacre a bunch of people at this event. The FBI got intel on it, shut it down. Apparently there was going to be a group was planning on doing a mass shooting at this event. I think they were going to try to fly drones into the event with explosives, and then once people were going to run out, there was going to be snipers on a building trying to snipe people. Pretty freaking scary stuff to think about. Glad the FBI did their thing and stopped that from happening. And stuff like that is planned at a lot of big events. I'm sure at the Super Bowl every year there's something planned, some group of people tries to plan something like that to commit a tragedy like that, something we don't need in this world whatsoever. But shout out to the FBI for stopping that from ever happening. And the last thing I want to talk about, though, is the MLB. Not too long of a show today, but we're going to talk some MLB. I want to talk, before I get into the standings, I want to talk Jacob Misiorowski for the Milwaukee Brewers, who is still a young pitcher. One of the best in the league, though. He had an incredible start June 12th against the Phillies. First of all, he set an MLB record with a 104.5 mile per hour pitch in the first inning of the game against the Phillies. It was the fastest ever pitch recorded for a starting pitcher in MLB history. I think Aroldis Chapman hit 105 or 106 when he played for the Reds against the Pirates. I forget what year that was. Maybe 2012, 2013, something like that. Maybe 2014, maybe even 2015. One of those years. It was one of those years that happened. But shout out Mizorowski. That game, he only pitched 95 pitches. He pitched a complete game, so he pitched all 9 innings. He only gave up 1 hit, gave up no runs, and he faced the minimum number of batters. So he only faced, 27 batters in the game. He struck out 15 of them. Unbelievable performance by him. No pitcher had ever done that with 14 strikeouts and only 2. What is that saying? Only 2 base runners? I don't know. I don't know what this Yahoo Sports article is saying. I'm guessing that only 2 hits, maybe? I don't know. No pitcher had ever done that with 14 strikeouts and only 2, and it cuts off. I get what it's saying. No pitcher had ever done that with 14 strikeouts and only 2 pitchers. Clayton Kershaw and Tariq Skubal had done it with 13. Okay, I see what it's saying. They're off the hook. Yahoo Sports. But yeah, let's go through a quick MLB standings update. Shout out to the Mets. They won last night against the Phillies, 6-4. They actually just beat Atlanta 2 out of 3 games as well at home. So they're doing all right against the division. Juan Soto had 2 home runs last night. Bo Bichette's been like the best hitter in baseball since June 3rd. So shout out Bo Bichette. He's starting to get hot. Needed that if the Mets want to start winning. Bo Bichette needs to get healthy. I know Francisco Lindor's starting his rehab assignment, I believe today. So is Tyrone Taylor. So excited to get Lindor back on the field for sure. But let's do a quick standings update. In first place in the AL East is the New York Yankees. They are 8-2 in their last 10. They have been playing great baseball. They're 45-28. Playing good at home, playing good on the road. Overall, Yankees, the best team in the American League right now. That seems like they are always at the top. I hate them, but, great team, great franchise, of course. The Tampa Bay Rays in second in the AL East, 41-30 record, 3 games back of first place. The Toronto Blue Jays in third with a 37-38 record. Baltimore 35-41 in fourth. Boston 29-43. Man, they're 2-8 in their last 10. Boston, they've lost their last 4. They are just really struggling as a team this year. Sucks to see. I like to see the Red Sox do well because they hate the Yankees so much, and the enemy of your enemy is your friend. So, hope the Red Sox can start to do better. In the AL Central, it is the Chicago White Sox in first place. They are actually tied with the Cleveland Guardians right now. The White Sox 39-34, 6-4 in their last 10. Cleveland's 40-35. They're 4-6 in their last 10, so struggling a little bit as of late. Minnesota in third with a 36-40 record. They're 4.5 games back of first. They're only 1.5 back of the wild card. They've actually won 4 in a row, though, so shout out Minnesota. Let's see if they can get back to 500 pretty soon. Shout out Minnesota. Kansas City, number 4, 31-45. They're 9.5 back of first place, 4-6 in their last 10. However, they have also won only 2 straight, but hey, that's something. That's a winning streak in my book. Detroit, they are actually tied for last place with Kansas City. They're 30-44, also 9.5 back, 6.5 for the wild card. They have lost 2 in a row. That's the difference between them and Kansas City. AL West, Seattle 39-37. They're first in the AL West. They are 5-5 in their last 10. They won yesterday. The A's 37-38, only 1.5 games back. Texas, 35-39. They are... Wait, did we just say that? Did I look at the wrong number? Hold on, let me start over. Number 2 is the A's. They're 37-38. The Texas Rangers in third, 35-39. They're 1.5 back of the wild card, 3 games back of first place. The A's 1.5 back of first place. Houston, they're number 4. They've won 2 straight. They're 35-41. They are 4 games back of first place, so pretty tight division there, 1 through 4. The A's, however, 30-46. They're 9 games back of first place. Still not an impossible route to come back. 5-5 in their last 10. They've lost 2 straight. Moving on to the National League, the Atlanta Braves, who now have the second best record in the National League. They're 46-27. They have lost 3 in a row now, and they play today against the Brewers. The Phillies in second place in the East at 40-35, 7 games back of first place. They have also lost 2 in a row, and they have a minus 20 run differential. Interesting. 5 games over, and they're minus 20 differential. The Nationals are 39-36. They lost their last game, but they're still only 8 games back. They're actually playing pretty good baseball, 6-4 in their last 10. They have a plus 15 run differential, so shout out Washington. Miami right behind them, 2 games back of them. They're 10 games back of first place. Miami 37-38, 7-3 in their last 10. And my New York Mets 34-41 in last place, 13 games back of first place. Hey, but they've won 2 in a row, and they have a minus 15 run differential. Moving on to the NL Central, number 1 in that division is the Milwaukee Brewers with a 45-27 record. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They lost yesterday, but they have a plus 116 run differential. That is the second best in the National League, maybe even the second best in baseball. No, they're the third best in baseball behind the Yankees with a 118 run differential. The St. Louis Cardinals in second place. They've lost their last 2. But they're 40-33, 5.5 back of first place. They're plus 2 games up in the wild card. The Cubs are in third with a 39-36 record. They are 7.5 back of first place. They won yesterday. Shout out the Chicago or Wednesday, whenever they played. When I say yesterday, I mean their last game. So that it was Thursday yesterday. So some of these teams might actually have been off. So when I say yesterday, and they didn't play yesterday, I'm meaning their last game. The Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 4-6 in their last 10, but they're 38-37 right now, still over 500, 8.5 games back. They've won 2 in a row. Shout out Pittsburgh. This is just a really tight division. Cincinnati's in last, but they're only 35-38, 10.5 back of first. But they are only 3 games back of the wild card. Pittsburgh's only 1 game back. And, that's it for the NL Central. Last division, we'll talk about the NL West, and that is featuring the best team in baseball, record-wise, run differential-wise, pretty much a lot of things wise. The Los Angeles Dodgers are 48-27. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've won 3 straight, and they have a plus 144 run differential, which, like I said, is the best in baseball. The San Diego Padres are number 2 in the NL West. They're 38-35. That's 9 games back. Diamondbacks right behind them with a 38-36 record, only a half game back of the Padres. They're also 5-5 in their last 10. They've also only won 1 straight. The Giants are in 4th place. They've won 3 in a row. Shout out San Francisco. They're 31-43. They're 7.5 back of the wild card, and in last place with the worst record in the National League, actually the worst record in baseball, the Colorado Rockies, 28-47. They're 20 games back. Man, one of the Rockies going to be good again. They made the playoffs in 2018. I'm not sure if they made the playoffs since then. I can't remember. But man, it's just been a tough stretch these past few years for the Rockies. They just always seem to have the worst record in baseball, or at least around the worst record in baseball. Hopefully they can get better. I feel like baseball would be a lot more, even more fun to watch. I don't know if this makes any sense. If the Rockies were good, it's a really cool ballpark. Balls just fly out of there. I want to see some big home run hitters on the Rockies. Soon for sure. But that is your MLB standings update. I don't think I have. Oh, I do want to talk about. James Harden got arrested. If you were unaware of that. I want to pull up the story really quick because I honestly don't know too much about it. I know he got caught with a handgun. He was arrested. Okay, NBA, so this is an AI overview. NBA star James Harden was arrested on June 13th, 2026 in downtown Houston, Texas for a misdemeanor charge of unlawfully carrying a weapon. The arrest occurred during a traffic stop at approximately 3:40 a.m. when an officer observed a handgun in plain view on the site of the vehicle, which was not in a holster. Harden was booked at the Harris County Jail, posted a $100 bond, and was released later that morning. The incident specifically involves Texas open carry laws, which require a handgun to be kept in a holster if it is carried openly in a vehicle. The 36-year-old former Houston Rockets and current Cleveland Cavaliers guard is scheduled to face an arraignment hearing on August 3rd, 2026, and is now being represented by prominent Texas attorney Rusty Hardin. His last name is also Hardin. It's spelled different, but that's kind of funny. Let's see. Despite the legal setback and an early playoff exit with the Cavaliers. Okay, first of all, why does it say early playoff exit? We made it to the conference finals. League insiders reported that the incident is not expected to affect his ongoing contract negotiations with Cleveland, planning to offer a new extension, which I will be happy for. I like James Harden. I thought he played great. Obviously, there was a few games in the playoffs where he struggled, but he also came up huge in a few games where we won. So shout out James Harden. Looking forward to seeing him play again for the Cavs if he does re-sign with the Cavs. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of people might disagree with me, especially the Cavs fans, but I like James Harden. He's a vet. He's a former MVP. He's a playmaker. I think he made our team better. I think people saying that we would have made it farther with Darius Garland, I don't agree with that, honestly. I think James Harden's a little bit more of a difference maker than Darius Garland. I love watching Garland play, but I think he was more of a difference maker. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but shout out James Harden. Don't get arrested, but glad everything's good. Glad he's safe. Glad, nothing bad happened. Because at the end of the day, James is a good guy, I think. So, that's all I really have to talk about today. Once again, I apologize for the delay. I was hoping to get this out after Game 5 happened, but once again, it was a crazy week for details that I won't go into. But anyway, I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Hopefully the next show will be next week sometime. I'll let everyone know. And thank you guys for joining me. And everybody stay cool.